Hi muckers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all having the best day ever. I had the most intense night of my entire life last night, and I'm gonna come here and tell you about it. But basically, I was partying with James Charles, and as much as I would love to say that that's me lying, or as much as I would love to say that that's clickbait, that actually happened. Also, something that happened earlier in the day at VidCon was this girl walks in with this older woman, and immediately my friend group that I'm with, because I'm going to VidCon with like 12 to 25-ish journalists from different news outlets, different whatever, that's kind of the friend group that I've been going to VidCon with. And so we're all standing there and we see Eugenia Cooney walk in. Now, immediately, I'm like, oh, like, no, it's not Eugenia Cooney, because why would she just be walking around VidCon? And I don't even think she was on the feature creator list, so she's just walking around with her mum, and she was very covered over, like, she had a huge face mask on, she was wearing, I'm pretty sure, I cannot remember, but I feel like she was also wearing a hat, she was wearing, like, a really big outfit, and it was basically the only parts of her that you could see were, like, her eye area and her legs. And so, immediately we're all like, is that Eugenia Cooney? Is that Eugenia Cooney or whatever? And so, whenever I was like, I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna talk to her. So, I go up to her and I basically am like, hi Eugenia, and she turns around, and she just kind of looks at me, and her mother's also there, and her mother stands forward at this stage. Now, here's the thing. I tweeted this, and people are like, Adam's lying. Eugenia Cooney would have said if she was at VidCon. Like, she was doing a YouTube stream yesterday. Like, you're lying, and I'm like, I have nothing to gain out of lying that Eugenia Cooney was at VidCon. If it wasn't her, I stand corrected. However, I went up and go, hi Eugenia, like, I've seen a couple of your Twitch streams, and I was like, I talk about you on my YouTube channel, and I was like, I know you, and her mom stands forward and goes, I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. Like, so fucking rude. And I was like, okay. And I was like, would I please be able to get a picture with you? And she go for it. So at this stage then, her mother is continuing to stand like in front of her, almost like protecting her, which is very weird considering if you wanted to protect her. If this was her, you would have got her to be like a feature creator. However, Eugenia the entire time says absolutely nothing to me, literally just is like this. Like that, like, Eugenia, please am I able to get a picture? And it wasn't about getting a picture, it was the fact that her mother was so rude. But it was just a, and she would look back at her mom, and then she would look, and then I was like, okay, no problem. And so I walk away, and I go back to my friends, and I go, she didn't want a picture, and the woman she was with was really rude. So if that is Eugenia Cooney, her and her mom, like, didn't come across the best to me. So anyway, one of my friends who's there, who has written about Eugenia, is like, okay, I'm gonna go up and like double check if it's her. So then she goes up and says to Eugenia that she's written about her before, and she said that it was acknowledged. So from what we're understanding, that was Eugenia Cooney, or else it's someone who looks exactly like her, who was allowing us to run with the narrative that we knew her as Eugenia Cooney. So to the people on Twitter that was like, Adam was lying about this, if I was gonna lie that I saw someone at VidCon, don't you think it would be a little bit more interesting than Eugenia Cooney? Anyway, I was as shocked as what you were. So anyway, after VidCon, because I was surrounded by a huge group of journalists, they were all getting invited to parties and different like networking events and just different things that different social medias were hosting at the week of VidCon. Now, because I was with all of them, whenever they would send, or the companies like Instagram or YouTube or TikTok or Metaverse, like this is what we're dealing with, like these companies would email all of them on like a chain list. They would, you know, ask who's on the guest list. And on one of the first days, a couple of them asked if I could be added to the guest list, because I'm basically, I don't think of myself as a journalist, but this weekend I kind of just cosplayed as one because I was surrounded by all of them. So anyway, the companies were super great, and they were like, yeah, of course, we'll add them on. So they added me to the list of these, and we had been going to a few things throughout VidCon, but yesterday was the main day. So right now is the last day of VidCon. I'm not going. I don't have it in me, but it was initially an Instagram party. So we go to it, it's in downtown Disney, and it was in the nicest venue, and we go, we pull up, we have to say our names, so we just show IDs, all like this kind of stuff, and there's like a huge group of us. We go in and immediately you're met with someone who is like dedicated to inviting you. So for us, it was this really nice guy, and he was just talking with us, letting us know where things were, where we could go, and again, he was like speaking to like a big group of us. Then he was like, and also, can you please walk the red carpet? Because we have a photographer here and we're taking a picture of all the guests on the red carpet. So I was like, I've never had a red carpet before. And all the journalists were like, oh, we've done this before. Like, you know, it's not special to them, but I was like, oh. So I had my first ever red carpet, which was super silly. And then we go into the party. Now, immediately I'm walking by TikTokers that I follow or YouTubers that I'm subscribed to, and notably one of my favorite people that I met at this specific party was Amanda, who's a commentary channel, and if you know her, you know her, but she is fantastic and she was so sweet and so lovely to meet. There was, you know, like Safia and her friends, not Safia, but you know her friends from BuzzFeed, the YouTubers like Michelle and stuff. All of them were at the party that I saw. There was just so many YouTubers that you were seeing, but also so many like celebrities just at the party, and it was so weird because I'm so used to going to like the Revenge Club in Brighton and just like going to the gay club and like seeing the same regulars every single day. So it was super weird to see this, and everyone who was there was so like used to it, and it wasn't like a surprise. Anyway, certain stage of the night, I immediately start being told by my friends, look behind you, look behind you. And now for me, that was terrifying as to like, what are we dealing with here? Like, who is it? And they're like, Adam, James Charles is behind you. James Charles is literally behind you right now. And I'm like, no, he's not. But I knew that he was at the Meta party the day before that I didn't go to because I wasn't invited. So I was like, okay, it could be him. So then I didn't want to make it too obvious, but I turned around, I couldn't see him, I didn't think anything of it. So we go on with our night, we're just on the dance floor. Lado is performing, who I love. She just came out with the Big Energy remix with Mariah Carey, and she performed that, and she was great. And it's like having celebrities like perform at just like the party was so bizarre. But anyway, they were saying that James was there. I didn't believe them. So I was just going along with my business, kind of talking with people, meeting new people. It was really great and it was really exciting. And then I turn around and I see James Charles standing at the bar. And it was, I mean, the BBL was BBLing. I mean, the face was caked in makeup. I mean, the makeup looked good. I'm not hating here. Like, a James Charles-esque outfit, one that shows off like the ass in like really tight jeans, a really like raggedy like blue top for like the aesthetic, and I cannot stress enough, the BBL, alleged BBL, was allegedly BBLing. So he's standing there and I immediately am like, ooh, ooh. So I didn't know how to handle this situation because no one was going up to him, and he seemingly came to this party on his own, and he was just standing talking to nobody. No one was really talking to him, and it was just kind of like, oh, there's James Charles, and he's just like roaming the party. So anyway, that happened. We kind of just, I ignored it and went on with my night. But then I went up to get a drink. So I wanted to get my Red Bull, and I was just like so thirsty for some sort of energy drink because it was so late at this stage and I had just been drinking water like all night. So anyway, I needed my Red Bull. So I go up and I'm standing at the bar. First of all, I don't know if you know this, all those Instagram parties, the bar is free. So you can get anything for free. I'm like, influencers have it too good. They have it too good. So anyway, I'm standing there, I'm waiting for my drink, and I'm here, and James, you know, whenever, so there's, the table's here, I'm here, then it goes like this, and James is here. So we are currently within this of each other, and neither of us are saying anything. We're both just looking forward, and I know that James knows me because long before I was a drama channel, James attacked me on Twitter a couple of times. Like, he was talking shit about me on Twitter for a while, like a year before I became a drama channel. Then whenever I became a drama channel, he also did a couple tweets talking about me. He has me blocked on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. Ironic, Snapchat, I must be too old. every social media. So I knew that James knew me. And also, I think I'm probably one of the harshest drama channels on him because I genuinely do not like him and think that he is a bad person. So anyway, standing there and we're just ignoring each other and we're standing. But anyway, one of my friends at this stage was like, I want to try to get a photo because this is so awkward. And the barman, there were so many people, so it was taking a while, and also he was doing all these fucking tricks and stuff, so like one drink took like, even if you were just getting a Red Bull, like he would swirl that shit around, it took like 10 minutes. So we were standing there, both just opposite each other, probably realistically 15 to 20 minutes, and it seemed like 7 hours in my brain. But anyway, my friend who's behind me is like, I want to get a photo of both of you. So she's standing there and she goes to take a picture, and I'm like getting ready to like pose. I know that it's just my back and that you'll see him. Very quickly, she spills her entire drink down my back and she falls to the floor, and I'm like, what happened? James then looks over as well at whatever's happening because there's like commotion, and she's like, I took a picture with the flash on. I had the flash on. She was like, I had to jump down, and I was like, you spilled your drink all over me. And she was like, it was either he gets a photo with flash taken like in his face. She was like, I meant to turn the flash off, or I fall to the ground and get a drink all over. So that was really funny. And then one of my other friends took a picture whenever I didn't even know of both of us there. So it's even more funny because that's like a candid moment. I didn't know it was being photographed, and it's just like so awkward. So I want to show you the photos. But anyway, after this party, there was an Amazon Prime party in which the Chainsmokers were performing, Flo Milla, I think, was performing, and it was really fun. So that was in a different building, and I was like, James won't be at this one for sure. Yeah, he was. He was, of course he was there. So James was at this party as well, and he was just like roaming. I wonder if, actually, I want to get my phone because I did take notes of James from the night. I mean, this is nothing exciting, and I was also really tired whenever I wrote these, but these are my notes of James Charles at the club because I knew that I was going to tell you this. Okay, so here we go. James Charles at club, standing alone, nobody talking to him, wearing a blue outfit. The BBL is BBLing, doesn't seem to be talking to young boys. Photographers taking lots of pictures of him. And yeah, I mean, I was watching to see like who he would be, you know, conversing with, and for the most part, it didn't seem to be young boys. It was mostly just like young Instagram girls that he was talking to. So good job, James, good job, James. So I'm gonna show you these photos now, but yeah, the Amazon Prime party was after, and he also shows up to that, and he's at that party with basically his friend group now, like, I think it was like Adam Ray and Louis something. That was like his friend group. So he did seemingly go to the other party with friends, but to my knowledge, he was very much so alone at the Instagram party. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But anyway, here's the picture of whenever I initially saw that James Charles was at the club, and you can see him literally just standing. So he was just right beside me whenever I turned around and realized that he was there, and he was literally just standing like a sim character, you know, clubs can be, you know, awkward sometimes, I'm not judging. But anyway, here is the photo that my friend took. So this is a candid moment, which makes it even better, of James Charles and I just at the club. Oh my god. There we go. There's James, and there's me. So I'm not lying to you whenever I say that I was here, the table just goes like there, and he's there. So, like, he could have reached over to me, I could have reached over to him. And it was the wildest experience of my entire life, because this is probably one of the YouTubers I go the hardest on. Like, I feel like seeing James is even more weird for me than seeing Trisha or someone like that. I feel like, because I have no problem speaking about James or whatever, but one thing I will say is, at the party, my friends were like, if he was to come up to you, how would you act? And I was like, I would be nice. I would say hello. I wouldn't say nice to meet you, because it's not nice to meet you, but I would say hello. I would introduce myself if he was introducing himself to me. And I literally was saying this in the moment to my friends, if he was to start an argument or quiz me on my videos on him or something like that, I would double down on them. I'd be like, you did this, there's proof of this, you sent nudes here, you sent ludes here, like all these different things. What happened with this boy, this boy, this boy, maybe this one wasn't real, but this one was, you admitted to these two, you deleted the video, I've watched it on my channel multiple times. I would have no problem. He would actually be the YouTuber I would feel most confident if they approached me, because there's so much to come at him for. So that was my attitude, and all my friends believed me because I had it in my head what I was gonna say if he came up, because I didn't want like him to feel that he had the one up on me, because I genuinely believe that he is a bad person. So I have so many reasons for that I was just collecting them in my head in case he would come up to me. But he very much so stayed very close to me all night, but didn't say anything all night. And if you are like, oh, you're lying, he wasn't coming close to you, whatever, yeah, those photos prove it. So anyway, the Amazon Prime party happened. He was there as well. That party was a lot bigger. This one was just kind of like a room, so we were very much so in different places. However, very quickly and very briefly before I end off this video, I met Brittany Broski. I met Brittany Broski. Hey, her and Emma Chamberlain are my top YouTubers. I couldn't get into her meet and greet at VidCon, and I never saw her at VidCon. However, at the Amazon Prime party, and all my friends knew that she was the YouTuber I wanted to see. At the Amazon Prime party, my friend goes, oh, and Brittany Broski's right beside you. And I'm like, you're lying, like you're lying. I turn around and she's there with her friend group, and I just like, the confidence came and I was like, this is my last chance. I went up to her and there were people going up to her steady flow, so I kind of just allowed the last person to go up, and then I waited a couple minutes, and then I went, hi Brittany, I know this is really annoying and I'm so sorry to do this, especially at a party, but I just want to say that I really enjoy your content and you're one of my favorite content creators. And I was like, and I'll leave it at that, but I really did just want to say that to you. And I was like, and I'm sorry for bugging you. And I turned around and she tapped me on the shoulder and she was like, no, tell me more. No, tell me more. And so then I turned around again and I was just like, I really enjoy your podcast. I've always loved your TikToks. I love your second TikTok account, your private one. I was saying all this. And I was like, oh, and I went to the Harry Styles concert in London. And she like goes in the British accent and she goes like Wembley, and she goes, did you see his outfit at Dublin? Like, she was just so personable. And then I was like, and thank you again. And I was like, also, I would love to get a photo, but if you don't want to, because I know the setting, you're not really supposed to take pictures with people whenever you go to these parties. I was like, that's no problem at all, but I did just want to ask because I'll be annoyed at myself if not. And she goes, of course, let's take one. So then we take one, and she was like, it's nice to meet you. And so she was really sweet, and I'm going to show you that photo before we end off the video. But it honestly was just like the most intense night ever. And it's like, I don't know how these influencers do it like every single weekend. But anyway, here is the photo of me and Brittany. Literally best night ever. Got to see the BBL, alleged BBL from James Charles, and got to meet Brittany Broski. So, I'm gonna end off the video. That was my story time. Terrifying night. James Charles. Boo. Okay, muckers, I love you. I just wanted to tell you this story, and I will see you in my next one. Stay safe, stay well, and stay away from James Charles. Bye.